Good evening and welcome to the programme. The Metropolitan Police has apologised to the family of Mark Duggan, whose death triggered the riots in Tottenham, which spread throughout the capital and to other parts of the country. Officers have been strongly criticised by the police watchdog, the IPCC, for failing to inform his parents that they had shot Mr Duggan dead. Let's get more on this from our special correspondent, Kurt Barling, who's in Tottenham for us now. Kurt.
Riz, two words come to mind: pie and humble. The authorities are finally coming clean about their poor communication with the family in the hours after Mark Duggan was shot. In fact, it wasn't just the Met Police that were under scrutiny, but the IPCC themselves. And today, in this building behind me, they met the new community consultative group to issue their apology so that it was clear for once and for all that the police responsibility lay in getting this information out to the family as quickly as possible. In the hours immediately following the fatal shooting of Mark Duggan, there was confusion amongst the authorities over who should tell the family. Today, the IPCC has upheld a complaint from the family that the police failed to formally notify Mr Duggan's parents of his death when it was their responsibility.
The Metropolitan Police Service has apologised to the family for the way in which Mr Duggan's parents became aware of his death. And I have told them how very sorry I am that the IPCC did not provide more support to them, nor visit them the day after Mr Duggan's death.
The failure led to this vigil at Tottenham Police Station the day after the incident, and eventually to some of the worst rioting the country has ever seen. One important casualty of all this was the community liaison group used by the IPCC to keep in touch with community sensibilities. Today, fresh faces and new life was breathed back into that group.
The most important piece of communication that went wrong in this case was the failure to tell Mark Duggan's family properly about his death. I think the reports concluded absolutely rightly that the police were at fault for not actually delivering the death message appropriately, and I think the police have stood up and apologised for not doing that and accepted it's their responsibility. It's sad, but it has to come as a consequence of a death and an investigation for clarity over whose job it is.
There's a sense that a line was today drawn under these early areas of judgment that left a cloud over the IPCC investigation. This report does not, however, deal with the whys and wherefores of Mark Duggan's shooting itself. That process is yet to be concluded.
It's the first step in a very long journey, because the question for the family is, how did Mark get killed? And what are the circumstances that surrounded that? So the apology is a small step here.
Ensuring police accountability for Mark Duggan's shooting is the IPCC's responsibility. They've been working hard to repair the damaged relationship with the family. Today was an important step.
And Kurt, what has the family had to say in response to the Met's apology?
Well, I think the family have a sort of cautious welcome to it. Remember, Riz, this is only the first part of the investigation. It was into the circumstances surrounding how they dealt with those first few days. Of course, they still have a long investigation to go. There's still the inquest to happen. The conclusion of that IPCC report won't be happening for a couple of months. So, in a sense, what this does is repair the relationship with the family. In the end, for the report to be credible that the IPCC comes up with, they must take the family with them, and this is the first building block in doing that. Riz.
Kurt from Tottenham, thank you. Plenty more ahead tonight.